Have you ever wondered if the rice on your plate might be quietly making your blood sugar worse? It may sound surprising. After all, rice is such a familiar food, comforting, simple, and a part of so many meals. But what if I told you that the way most people cook and eat rice could actually be working against their health, especially after the age of 60? Hi there, I'm so glad you're here with me today. This isn't about fear, it's about hope and about control. The truth is, there are simple, proven ways to turn rice, yes, rice, from a hidden blood sugar saboteur into a gut-healing, sugar-stabilizing, and life-giving food. And the best part? It doesn't require special pills or fancy machines, only small changes to your everyday routine. I've spent years working in the field of senior health, and I've seen far too many people who take all the right medications, follow the standard advice, yet still struggle with rising blood sugar, stubborn weight, and digestive issues. That's when I realized we often overlook the most basic things right in front of us, like the way we prepare rice. Today, I'm going to share 5 simple rice hacks that can make a powerful difference in your health. They're easy to do, backed by science, and best of all, they fit right into the meals you're already making. Before we get started, let me ask you something. Do you, or someone you love, eat rice almost every day? Have you ever felt bloated or tired after a meal and assumed it was just age catching up with you? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like more clear and practical tips like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Health 365 family. Now, let's dive into the very first rice secret, one that can change how your body absorbs nutrients with just a little extra effort. It's simple, but powerful: soaking your rice. That everyday step, which many of us skip without much thought, can quietly change how your body reacts to a bowl of rice. You might be thinking, I've been rinsing and cooking rice my whole life. Why fix something that isn't broken? But here's the truth. Unsoaked rice can block your body from absorbing the very nutrients it needs most as you age. Rice, especially white and brown varieties, contains something called phytic acid, which sits in the outer layers of the grain. While completely natural, phytic acid acts like a thief in your digestive system. It binds to important minerals like calcium, zinc, and iron, making it harder for your body to absorb them. For older adults who may already struggle with bone thinning, fatigue, or low immunity, this is more important than you might realize. Here's the good news. Soaking rice, just like our parents and grandparents often did, reduces phytic acid and unlocks more of those essential nutrients. It also makes rice easier to digest. Many older adults I've worked with have told me they dealt with bloating, gas, or a heavy feeling after meals. But once they began soaking their rice, eating became lighter, smoother, and more comfortable. So how should you do it? After rinsing your rice thoroughly under cool water, let it soak in warm water for 30 to 60 minutes before cooking. This softens the grains, allows them to absorb moisture, and helps break down those hard-to-digest compounds. Even just 30 minutes makes a difference if you're short on time. But don't soak for more than 3 hours, especially in warm weather, as bacteria can grow and spoil the rice. I remember one woman, 72 years old and very active, but struggling with a sensitive stomach. She started soaking her rice, and within weeks, her discomfort after meals almost disappeared. She called it her small miracle. No pills, no special tools, just water, time, and intention. The reward? Better digestion, stronger nutrient absorption, and more energy after meals. Give it a try yourself. And if you've already been soaking rice, share your experience in the comments. If you haven't, what's holding you back? Now, if you think soaking rice is simple, wait until you hear what a single spoonful of vinegar can do for your blood sugar. Let's move on to tip number 2, adding vinegar. I know that might sound odd, vinegar in rice? You might think it would ruin the taste. But hear me out, because just one spoonful of the right vinegar can make a huge difference for your blood sugar, digestion, and even your energy levels after eating. Here's why. Vinegar, particularly natural apple cider vinegar, contains acetic acid. This compound slows down how quickly your body breaks down and absorbs carbohydrates, which helps prevent blood sugar from spiking after a meal. This is especially important after 60, when the body becomes more sensitive to sugar spikes. And if you're managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, this tip could be a game changer. In fact, a major Johns Hopkins University study showed that adding vinegar to rice lowered its glycemic index by 31%. That's a dramatic drop, from a high sugar reaction to something far more balanced. I recall one man in his late 60s, pre-diabetic and frustrated with his sluggishness after meals. He began adding 1 tablespoon of natural fermented vinegar to the water when cooking rice. Within 2 months, his fasting blood sugar stabilized, and he felt lighter, clearer, and more in control. How can you do this at home? It's simple. When adding water to your rice cooker or pot, mix in 1 tablespoon of natural fermented vinegar, like apple cider vinegar. That's it. The rice won't taste sour, I promise. In fact, many people say it tastes fresher and cleaner. A quick note. Make sure the vinegar is natural and fermented, not synthetic or flavored. Synthetic versions don't provide the same benefits and may even irritate your stomach. And if your digestion is especially sensitive, start with half a tablespoon and see how your body responds. This tip is easy to adopt but has profound benefits over time. Best of all, it isn't medicine or a restriction, it's simply giving your body a little natural support. Now, let's move on to something just as surprising. Did you know that mixing just a small amount of oatmeal with rice can help your heart and blood sugar at the same time? Here's a little-known secret. Oatmeal, when paired with rice in the right proportion, can dramatically improve how your body processes sugar and even clean out your blood vessels over time. Oatmeal is rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber. Inside your body, beta-glucan works like a sponge, absorbing bad cholesterol, slowing digestion, and keeping your blood sugar from spiking too quickly after meals. For seniors with high cholesterol, prediabetes, or blood pressure issues, this type of support is invaluable. In fact, a National Institutes of Health study found that mixing a small amount of oatmeal into rice can slow the rise in blood sugar by up to 43%. That's a huge step toward stability and long-term health. The key lies in balance. For 1 cup of rice, about 150 grams, add only 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of plain, dry oatmeal. That's roughly 5% to 7% of the total volume. Enough to give you the benefits without causing digestive discomfort. Too much oatmeal in one meal, especially for older adults, can lead to bloating, gas, or heaviness. Gentle balance is what matters. A small daily dose provides the soluble fiber your body needs to support smoother digestion, better cholesterol management, and steadier energy after meals. I've seen this small change help many people. One woman in her mid-70s, dealing with high cholesterol and early signs of diabetes, began adding oatmeal to her rice. She simply mixed a teaspoon of oatmeal into her daily rice. After 3 months, her lab results improved. And more importantly, she felt better, clearer, lighter, and more confident. One gentle reminder. If you have kidney problems, always consult your doctor before increasing fiber or whole grain intake. Every body is unique, and your care should reflect your needs. Now that we've improved how rice handles sugar and cholesterol, let's move on to a golden spice that has been used for centuries, one that may naturally boost insulin sensitivity. This next tip involves a small golden pinch with big healing power: turmeric. You've probably heard of turmeric as a spice in curries or teas. But did you know that adding just a little turmeric to your rice can help your body respond to insulin more effectively and even reduce inflammation throughout your system? The active compound in turmeric is called curcumin. It's been widely studied for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits, but one of the most exciting discoveries is its effect on insulin sensitivity. Curcumin helps your body use insulin more efficiently, like sharpening a dull key so it fits into the lock again. As we age, many of us develop insulin resistance, where the body no longer responds properly to insulin. This leads to higher blood sugar, fatigue, weight gain, and sometimes more serious complications. Research from the National Institutes of Health found that consistent curcumin intake reduced insulin resistance by 23%, a result comparable to some mild diabetes medications. And all it takes is a pinch. I recall a woman in her late 60s who had managed type 2 diabetes for years. After consulting her doctor, she began adding a small pinch of turmeric powder to her warm rice daily. She didn't change anything else in her diet. Within a few months, her blood sugar stabilized, and she was even able to reduce her medication dosage. The joy on her face said it all. To try this at home, simply cook your rice as usual, then while it's still warm, sprinkle 1 or 2 small pinches of pure turmeric powder over it and stir gently. That's all. The warmth releases the spice's natural oils and aroma, blending beautifully with plain rice. Start small, especially if you're new to the flavor, and gradually increase as your palate adjusts. Be sure to use pure turmeric powder, not curry powder. Curry blends may contain turmeric, but they also include salt and other spices, which don't provide the same benefits and could upset your stomach if consumed in large amounts. And as with any natural remedy, check with your healthcare provider before using turmeric regularly, especially if you have gallbladder issues or are on certain medications. This small, colorful habit carries gentle but powerful effects, connecting you with centuries of natural healing wisdom. Now, as we move to the final tip, get ready for something even more surprising. This one doesn't require adding anything at all. It's about how you cool and reheat your rice to unlock deeper gut health benefits. This practice is one of the most surprising yet highly effective rice habits: cooling and reheating rice. That's it, no special ingredient, no supplement. Just cook your rice, let it cool, and then warm it again before eating. Simple, yes, but the science is remarkable. Here's what happens. When rice cools, its starch structure changes. It transforms into something called resistant starch. Unlike regular starch, which digests quickly and spikes your blood sugar, resistant starch resists digestion. Instead, it passes into the large intestine, where it becomes food for the beneficial bacteria in your gut. This means better digestion, reduced inflammation, and stronger immunity. It's like giving your gut a soothing internal massage. But the benefits don't end there. Resistant starch also lowers post-meal blood sugar spikes, improves bowel regularity, and enhances your body's ability to use insulin. For seniors, especially those dealing with blood sugar concerns, gut discomfort, or constipation, this one change can bring profound relief. I once worked with a man in his 70s who had suffered from constipation and irritable bowel issues for years. Medications helped somewhat, but never completely. When he began cooling his rice after cooking, then reheating it before meals, his digestion transformed. Within weeks, he felt lighter, more regular, and finally at ease. So, how can you do this? After cooking rice, let it sit uncovered at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes. You can eat it then, or better yet, refrigerate it and reheat gently later that day or the next. When reheating, warm it until hot, but don't overcook it or leave it out too long at room temperature, especially in warm weather. Rice can harbor bacteria if left out for extended periods, so refrigerate promptly and consume within 1 to 2 days. This tiny adjustment brings major rewards: improved gut health, steadier blood sugar, and a sense of inner balance many older adults deeply appreciate. Think about it. With just a bit of time and planning, rice can shift from being a hidden blood sugar risk to one of the most nourishing foods on your plate. Now that we've covered all 5 gentle but powerful rice habits, let's bring everything together. While each tip is small on its own, the real transformation comes from how they add up, meal by meal, grain by grain. These 5 rice habits: soaking your rice, adding vinegar, mixing in oatmeal, sprinkling turmeric, and cooling before reheating, each support blood sugar control, digestion, and long-term vitality in their own unique way. And here's the truth: it's never too late to start. You don't have to do everything at once. Begin with the habit that feels easiest, and see how your body responds. Small steps often lead to the biggest changes. I've seen these tips help so many older adults feel lighter, move more freely, and reclaim control over their meals and their health. You deserve that too. If this video helped you or gave you something new to think about, please give it a like. It really supports our work. And if you'd like to stay on this journey with us, subscribe and join the Healthverse family. We're here with practical, science-based tips that fit right into your life. Have any of these rice habits surprised you? Or have you already tried one? I'd love to hear your experiences. Share them in the comments below. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, you've got this.